If you are waiting to become the best version of yourself to finally be proud of you, you will never be. Because your best self isn't a finish line, but is a movement. It's not a place where you show up with confetti and say, okay, nice, I've completed my personal growth. It's a vibe, a flow, a constant fightening, and the real mistake everyone makes is believing that one day they will be done, healed, perfect, consistent, always on cloud nine. But guess what? That day will never come because the truth is you'll always be becoming, evolving, falling, overcoming, adjusting, and honestly, that's not a bad news. But it's the most beautiful proof that you're alive. So if you are tired of chasing perfection, if you want to learn how to enjoy the journey as much as the result, take a deep breath because your best self isn't a destination but is a direction. Hello guys, I'm so excited to welcome you to a new episode on the Lio BodyMind channel, the podcast that helps you glow up your physical and mental power. Today we are going to talking about something that everyone loves to mention, but very few people actually understand. Becoming your best version. Okay, but what does that even mean? It is a goal, a checklist, a before and after transformation for social media? I believe that's you. I remember a time when I told myself, when I have this body, this mindset, this level of success, I will finally feel complete. But you know what? That day I checked all those boxes, I just felt normal. Because the thing I thought I was chasing didn't even exist. I was convinced my best self would be a fixed point, but it was a mirage, like chasing the horizon. The more you move forward, the more it moves away. And that's when I understood something fundamental, and that's pure psychology. What I was experiencing was the illusion of permanence. Our brain hates uncertainty. It loves reference points, situation it can control. So it events fake endings. When I feel this, everything will be fine. When I become that person, I will finally be okay. But it's an illusion because your brain is in constant evolution. It is always trying to maintain balance with your environment. So once you reach a goal, it redefines your new baseline. And boom, you suddenly feel like you're not enough again. It's not because you're ungrateful or unsatisfied. It's just your nervous system adapting itself. And that's why you can achieve everything you wanted and still feel like something's missing. Because your brain has already adapted to the new version of you. And it's already looking for the next challenge. So what if we stop chasing a destination and started learning how to serve the movement instead? Because the truth is, your best self isn't the one you reach, it's the one you adjust every single day without losing yourself along the way. And trust me, once you get that, you stop judging yourself for what you haven't achieved yet. And you start honoring who you are becoming. Okay, now let's talk about the trap, because after the mirage of the best version comes the biggest scam of self-growth, the ideal version. You know, the one that's always being praised in video coachings or those perfect morning routines. Always flawless, always productive, zen and grateful, with mirror, affirmation and a matcha latte in hand. Yeah, that version. The problem is, the more you chase that image, the more you forget your truth. Let me introduce to Elia. Elia is a girl who is always chasing her best self. Every day she tells herself, I can do more, I have to do better. She checks every boxes online, every routine, sets impossible standards for herself. But the more she moves forward, the emptier she feels, because in her mind, happiness always lives in the next step. She doesn't hate herself, she just never enjoys herself. Her brain is hooked on the chase and his habits of turning excitement into normality. And then there's Naya. Naya also wants to evolve, but she's understood something most people never do. Your best self isn't a destination, but is a movement. She doesn't wait for perfection to feel proud. She honors her in-between versions, she takes breaks, she breathes, she observes. She understands that every bug, every low, every uncomfortable feeling is part of coding her next version. When you live in constant pursuit, your brain stays locked in reward-seeking mode and shuts down the circuits of gratitude. Result: the more you move forward, the more you feel the lack and not fullness. And that's why you can feel unfulfilled even in success. because your brain is addicted to the chase and not peace. So if you are listening to me right now, remember this. As long as you keep chasing your best version, you forget that the one you're living today is already a miracle. What if instead of judging her through the eyes of comparison, you started looking at her through the eyes of gratitude? What would happen then? For the longest time, I thought my best self was a finish line, a final destination, like the ultimate level in the game of life. But real life isn't a level up game. It's an expansion game. And that's when I realized something wild. My identity is plastic, yeah, plastic, just like your brain. Your brain can adapt to literally anything, and guess what? Your identity does the exact same thing. It rebuilds itself through your breakdowns, your wins, your lessons, your rebirth. Every time you fall and get back up, your identity updates itself. And here is the best part. You don't have to erase the old version to evolve. You integrate them. Your brain doesn't crave perfection, it craves coherence. It needs to connect your experiences together to make sense of your story. So your past self wasn't a mistake. It was just a chapter of construction, and honestly, I spent years rejecting my old versions. The one who was too nice, too tolerant, too eager to please. I used to hate her, but now I realize that so-called weak version of me taught me everything. She gave me awareness, boundaries, and clarity. She wasn't a mistake. She was an initiation. Your best self isn't the one that erases your mistakes. It's the one that understands them, integrates them, and transcends them. Your best self isn't waiting somewhere. She's already walking beside you with every step you take. And the more you get that, the more you drop the pressure to get there fast and start enjoying the beauty of the process. Now let's talk about success, because it's time to hit reset on what that actually means. You were taught that success is a visible result, but real success is inner stability. It's that moment when you feel proud even when nobody's watching. Try this. Grab your journal and write down 3 moments when you felt truly proud of yourself. Not when you won a trophy, not when you got validation, but when you felt aligned, when you made the right choice, when you dared to say no, when you honor your own rhythm. And look closely, those moments were never about perfection. They were moments of coherence. When you practice conscious gratitude, you strengthen your satisfaction circuits and deactivate your dopamine chasing ones. Result: less, never enough, and more is already good right now. Because in the end, your best self isn't a mountain to climb. So maybe it's time to breathe through your life instead of constantly trying to conquer it. Because your real power lives right there in the version of you that moves slowly, consciously, that falls, doubts, but keeps going. That's your real destination. All right, time for the mini tip. How do you evolve without losing yourself along the way? Because yeah, grow is great, but if it leaves you exhausted, stressed, and disconnected from yourself, then what's the point? So here are 3 simple but powerful reminders. 1, be aware of your season. You don't have to live in your summer energy all year long. You're allowed to have slower, foggier, or in war seasons. That's not regression, it's regeneration. In neuroscience, rest is as productive as action. It's during rest that your brain consolidates learning. So stop feeling guilty when you slow down. You're not lazy, you are integrating. 2, celebrate the micro evolutions. Your brain loves recognition. Every time you celebrate yourself, you release natural dopamine that teach your nervous system that progress equals joy and not stress. So celebrate the small steps, the invisible moments, the tiny wins, because those are the ones wiring your brain for consistency. 3, stay connected to your why. When you lose meaning, you lose direction. Keep coming back to why you do what you do. Write it down, feel it, breathe it. That's your anchor in the storm. Because discipline without purpose is punishment, but discipline with purpose, that's freedom. And if you need a reminder, just hold on to this. Your best self isn't a race. It's a dance between who you were, who you are, and who you are becoming. So walk, fall, breathe, begin again. But most of all, move at your own pace. Because as long as you are moving, you're already winning. And that's the end of the episode. I made it make you breathe a little, because we forget too often that the best version of ourselves isn't forced. It's revealed. If this episode spoke to you, share it with a friend, a sister, someone who needs to hear that it's okay not to have everything figured out. And tell me in comments what's your version right now. Take care of your body, your mind, and your journey, and see you soon into the next one. Ciao, ciao.